This year, skyrocketing graphics card prices have been the center of PC gaming trends. The value in terms of performance per dollar appears to be low, even with top-tier options. On the other hand, the Intel Arc A580 is an outlier due to its remarkable performance for the outrageously low price of $180. It is a real budget GPU that does a great job as a dependable 1080p workhorse for gaming without any bells and whistles. Meet the A580. Despite having a price tag of $180, with occasional decreases to $170, the A580 Graphics Processing Unit, GPU from Intel, did not have the same impact as its predecessors, the A750 and the A770. It has a clock speed and power draw that are slightly lower than those of the A750, but it has the majority of the A750's cores and an impressive 8 GB of video memory, which is unusual for a product in this price category. The previous GPU attempt made by AMD in this category, the RX 6500 XT, which cost $200 and had just 4 GB of video memory, is insignificant in comparison. As demonstrated by benchmarks with more expensive graphics processing units, GPUs, such as the RTX 4060 Ti, games continue to require 8 GB of video memory. AMD's older RX 6600, which costs approximately $200 and is slightly more expensive than the A580, is the closest competitor, even though neither AMD nor NVIDIA's current lineup of graphics cards represents a direct competitor. As a result of the fact that other possibilities, such as the RTX 3050 and RX 6600 XT, which are priced at approximately $230, are outside of this pricing range, the A750 from Intel is a superior option for that price range. Performance. For $180, you get a powerful GPU with respectable performance. In most games, it manages to achieve 60 FPS or more at 1080p ultra settings, which is about par for the course for its class. When tested on benchmarks like 3D Mark, it beats less expensive GPUs like AMD's RX 6600 and more expensive ones like NVIDIA's RTX 3060 and AMD's RX 7600, which cost about $300. Its performance in real-world scenarios, such as Assassin's Creed Valhalla, is subpar compared to more costly GPUs, but it's still impressive considering the budget. With its regularly above 60 FPS performance at maximum settings, it rivals the more expensive A750 in games like Forza Horizon 5 and Hogwarts Legacy. With a price drop of $20 to $30 compared to the RX $6,600, it becomes a realistic alternative, even though it may fall short in some games while succeeding in others. Games that heavily use video RAM, such as Resident Evil 4 and The Last of Us Part 1, make it difficult for the A580 to reliably achieve 60 frames per second at maximum settings. The fact that it can run modern games at higher settings and yet manage 60 FPS is impressive, despite its flaws. Even though the card works well at high to ultra settings without ray tracing at 1080p, you may need to adjust your settings or use upscaling for more demanding titles that use ray tracing. Driver issues. Even though the performance of the A580 is outstanding for its price point, using an Intel GPU requires coping with difficulties that have not yet been resolved. There have been sporadic instances of lower than expected performance, as seen in games such as Starfield, where Intel GPUs initially failed to launch the game and still exhibit subpar performance. Even though Intel has significantly improved performance through frequent updates, sometimes doubling or tripling it in games that were previously struggling, there are still instances of performance that are lower than expected. Even though such instances are uncommon, it is prudent to research particular game benchmarks before making a purchase. Even though it lacks the demonstrated endurance of NVIDIA or AMD GPUs, Intel's Arc represents the company's introduction to discrete graphics and promises of future generations. However, it may be necessary to upgrade in a few years and may require an upgrade. Plenty of 1080p power. Despite some worries connected to driver difficulties, the A580 emerges as a light in the field of graphics cards that are kind to one's wallet. One of the things that sets it apart from other gaming systems is its capacity to generate a commendable 60 FPS per second at 1080p in the majority of gaming settings. Surprisingly, it is possible to build a personal computer around this graphics processing unit, GPU, for roughly $600. This price point has been out of reach for users who are passionate about personal computers for the previous few years due to the hefty entry fees associated with modern GPUs, which typically begin at a minimum of $300. This affordability is a direct result of the A580, which fills a gap that seems to have been missed by major players such as AMD and Nvidia. Even while its capabilities might become less impressive in the face of future developments that need greater power, it is currently doing an excellent job of addressing a critical region. It can handle lightweight games with ease and sustain playable frame rates, even in more demanding games, which is a balance that has been lacking in GPU offerings for quite some time. Even though it is not completely future-proof, the A580 offers a practical alternative for individuals who are looking for an immediate gaming experience that is kind to their wallet. Thanks for watching. If you want more videos like this one, make sure to like the video and subscribe to our channel to never miss out on any of our videos.